I feel like A Christmas to Remember got off to a slightly rocky start, but as the film progressed, I realised that that rocky start is actually pivotal to the development of one of the characters. I'm not going to give away the ending of this film, I'm not going to say how it concludes itself, which I have to say, I wasn't 100% certain how it was going to manage. But there may be a few tiny spoilers throughout as I talk about the narrative and a few things that I did or perhaps did not like. So this is the latest Hallmark film that I've watched. This was released in 2016 and is directed by David Weaver, written by Dorie Barton and Lowi. And it stars Mira Sorvino as Jennifer Wade. And this is where the problem began. The character of Jennifer Wade straight away was exceptionally irritating. She was not a nice person to other people. And I thought, is this the protagonist I'm going to have to watch for an hour and a half? Am I supposed to like her and care for her? But actually that's important. That personality is very important for the development of the narrative, which obviously when I first started watching it, I didn't realise. So basically, she goes on a spa break for Christmas, or intends to, but on her way there, her car crashes quite violently, and she gets out pretty unhurt, aside from the fact that she's got amnesia. And this father and his two children find her wandering in the middle of a snowstorm and take her to his house and nurse her back to health. But obviously, like any good amnesia film, she can't remember her name or who she is or where she's from. And over the course of the film, she spends time with them doing Christmassy things, and slowly bits of her memory will come back from her childhood, but obviously she's not going to remember her former identity very quickly, otherwise the film would be over very quickly as well. And I love stories about amnesia. Usually they're thrillers. Usually they work better as a thriller or a drama. So this one's not as medical. It's not as scientific. There are things that would not happen in real life that happen in this film. But it's still enjoyable, and I really liked it. And I have to say, what really surprised me, and although I don't particularly like the character of Jennifer, even throughout it, even as she began to develop and change as a person, I guess I was prejudiced against my initial thoughts of her as a character. I thought Mira Sorvino's performance was really good. There was a fear in her eyes when she didn't know who she was or answers to questions that she should really be able to answer. There was a definite nervousness there that I feel like a lot of people who pretend to have amnesia, who play characters who have amnesia, fail to capture. So I think she did a fantastic job there with that. Nothing wrong with her acting, I just don't like the character. John is a character I thought was great. I thought he was brilliant. He's a lovely father to the children, and the way he took care of Jennifer was really sweet, and I really liked him as a character. The children, Jamie, Daisy, and Cal, were all lovely as well. I think they work really well as a family unit. You know, sometimes you'll get children playing brothers and sisters, and it just doesn't seem to work. But that's definitely not the case here. I think they all did a great job and very well acted as well. So, in all, I really liked this film. As I said, I love the aspect of amnesia. Well, that's very poorly phrased. I love narratives that address amnesia. As I said, in a car accident like that, definitely would have had at least a broken bone of some kind. But for the most part, it did things pretty well. And as I said, the performance itself with the amnesia was really good. There's a lot of Christmas in this. The Christmas decorations are gorgeous. The soundtrack's really nice. There's a lot of food in this, which makes me very hungry. And it's really lovely. I love the way the narrative develops, and I think it's just got the perfect balance of elements of her old life, because obviously we do get to see a 5-minute snippet of who she was before the accident happens, and there's just a tiny bit of sprinkling of that to remind us as viewers of her past and where she comes from, because as she develops as a character and has a slightly different personality, which again brings us back to the original unlikable person, it's really important. I honestly think this film has got the balance really well. It's a very nice Christmas film. It's not the most Christmassy film, and obviously with the subject matter of amnesia, it's not the most jolly and upbeat, but they all make the best of this situation. And yeah, I would, whether you like films about amnesia or not, I think A Christmas to Remember probably has a little bit of something for everybody.